Hello, my name is Rachel Lyons, and today I'll be delivering a speech that analyzes the different components of Elie Wiesel's speech, The Perils of Indifference. Holocaust survivor Elie Wiesel delivered a powerful speech on April 12, 1999 in Washington, D.C. President Clinton and the First Lady Hillary Clinton hosted Wiesel. His powerful speech touched on his survival story and reflected on his feelings and opinions regarding indifference. According to Barry, Wiesel aimed to praise those who stood up for the Holocaust and to condemn indifference towards all those suffering. In researching this speech, I learned that Wiesel strategically incorporates a variety of literary and rhetorical devices to successfully deliver his message to his audience. Today, I will discuss the emotions that Wiesel expressed in order to provoke a meaningful understanding of his message. I will analyze how Wiesel's powerful and personal message impacts the world around him. Wiesel's speech will forever be a lasting piece of rhetoric for many reasons. For one, his speech addresses the monumental and historical events that revolved around indifference. His speech, Wiesel states, "The opposite of love is hate, indifference." Through his experience with hate and indifference throughout the Holocaust, he warns the people of the 21st century to change the future rather than rewriting tragic events that have happened throughout history. His powerful message did not speak out against violence, but rather related to the consequences associated with it. Elie incorporates different techniques throughout his speech to engage his audience. English, Hebrew, and German words were incorporated into his speech to make it more reliable and effective. His tone changes throughout the speech. Initially, his tone is passive, to explain his pain as a young child experiences the horrors of the Holocaust, to open the hearts of the audience members around him. The tone gradually transforms into a sorrowful tone without anger and full of gloom to connect to his audience, in order for them fully to understand the strife and his concern for the future. He eloquently incorporates connective words and phrases like "our traditions" and "our world" to join the audience as one. This unity symbolizes Elie Wiesel's understanding that we all need improvement so that we do not repeat history itself. He uses a first-person account that exposes realistic consequences of violence, which causes a more emotional impact on the audience members. He uses imagery, repetition, and questioning throughout his speech to connect to his audience, painting a picture in their minds of indifference. Elie mainly evoked emotions of pain, sorrow, and hope throughout his speech. Throughout his introduction, he identifies the pain he experiences at his time in Auschwitz. His sorrowful emotions arise halfway throughout his speech, when he identifies different historical events that continue to repeat themselves because people run from indifference. He is hopeful at the end of his speech and leaves it up to the audience members to decide how they will write the future's chapters in history. According to Newman, Wiesel sympathizes with the many victims of genocide and indifference. Wiesel skillfully chooses words in different tones that avoids accusatory feelings from the audience members concerning and regarding indifference, and who truly was to blame. Elie's audience. Elie starts his audience speech addressing President Clinton, Mrs. Clinton, and members of the U.S. Congress. He intends to actually target the bystanders of this subject. He gets their attention by addressing them personally. He switches his technique throughout the speech, questioning the acts of those officials that were mentioned previously as good people. According to Barry, indifference is a lack of interest, knowing something, and really not caring enough to do anything in order to change it. This speech was truly an eye-opener for me. Wiesel's ability to connect to the audience on a personal and emotional level was incredible. Throughout the entire speech, I was eager to hear what he was going to say next. I reflected on his advice based on personal experiences and indifference. I will try to utilize his ability to express his emotions through personal experience. His varying tones and constant eye contact are two techniques that I might consider using to express my emotions.